Kindle Kid presents The Greedy Python, a beautiful story written by Eric Carle and Richard Buckley. Half hidden in the jungle green, the biggest snake there's ever been, wound back and forth and in between. The giant snake was very strong, and very, very, very long. He had a monstrous appetite. His stomach stretched from left to right. He quickly gobbled in one bite whatever creatures came in sight. A mouse that scampered to and fro, a frog that jumped up from below, a bat that hung from his left toe, a fish that swam a bit too slow, a bird that flew a bit too low. A porcupine still half asleep. A monkey who was in mid-leap. A leopard sitting in a tree. A buffalo who came to see. An elephant, complete with trunk, was swallowed in a single chunk. "I'm far too big to eat," he cried. "Oh, no you're not," the snake replied. At last the python's meal was done, and he lay resting in the sun. The animals inside his skin were making quite a dreadful din. And when they all began to kick, the snake began to feel quite sick. He coughed the whole lot up again, each one of them, and there were 10. He soon felt better, and what's more, was hungrier than just before. He hadn't learned a single thing. His greed was quite astonishing. He saw his own tail, long and curved, and thought that lunch was being served. He closed his jaws on his own rear, then swallowed hard, and disappeared. Thank you for watching the video. Please subscribe the channel. Kindle Kid presents The Foolish Tortoise, a beautiful story written by Eric Carle and Richard Buckley. A tortoise, tired of being slow, impatient to get up and go, took off his large and heavy shell, and left it lying where it fell. "Hooray!" he cried, "now I've been freed. I will see the world at double speed." Though faster, he was not express, and his protection was far less. So when he heard a hornet's drone, the tortoise crept beneath a stone. A hungry bird came swooping past. He looked so fierce and flew so fast. The tortoise hid behind some trees, and felt quite weak behind the knees. "I don't feel safe, there's too much risk. If only I could be more brisk." He headed for the riverbed. A fish swam up, the tortoise fled. Along his way our hero went, and almost has an accident. A snake with open jaws slid near. The tortoise backed away in fear. A hare, a hound, a horse raced by. So rapidly, they seemed to fly. The tortoise gasped, sat goggle-eyed. "I'll never be that quick," he sighed. He wandered on, the sun rose high. "I wish I had more shade. he cried. A sudden thunderstorm swept in and soaked the tortoise to the skin. The wind rose up, and soon the breeze was bending branches in the trees. The tortoise shivered. Now I am cold. I wish I hadn't been so bold. I think I've lost the urge to roam. I think as time that want home. Without my shell I don't feel right. So when his shell came into sight, he climbed back in and said, "Good night." Thank you for watching the video. Please subscribe the channel.
Kindle Kid presents Roosters Off to See the World, a beautiful story written by Eric Carle and animated by Kindle Kid.
One fine morning, a rooster decided that he wanted to travel. So, right then and there, he set out to see the world. He hadn't walked very far when he began to feel lonely. Just then he met two cats. The rooster said to them, "Come along with me to see the world." The cats liked the idea of a trip very much. "We would love to," they purred and set off down the road with the rooster. As they wandered on, the rooster and the cats met three frogs. "How would you like to come with us to see the world?" asked the rooster, eager for more company. "Why not?" answered the frogs. "We are not busy now." So the frogs jumped along behind the rooster and the cats. After a while, the rooster, the cats, and the frogs saw 4 turtles crawling slowly down the road. "Hey," said the rooster, "how would you like to see the world? It might be fun," snapped one of the turtles, and they joined the others. As the rooster, the cats, the frogs, and the turtles walked along, they came to 5 fish swimming in the brook. "Where are you going?" asked the fish. "We are off to see the world," answered the rooster. "May we come along?" pleaded the fish. "Delighted to have you," the rooster replied. And so the fish came along to see the world. The sun went down, it began to get dark. The moon came up over the horizon. "Where's our dinner?" asked the cats. "Where are we supposed to sleep?" asked the frogs. "We are cold," complained the turtles. Just then, some fireflies flew overhead. "We are afraid," cried the fish. Now, the rooster really had not made any plans for the trip around the world. He had not remembered to think about food and shelter, so he didn't know how to answer his friends. After a few minutes of silence, the fish suddenly decided that it might be best if they headed for home. They wished the others a happy trip and swam away. Then, the turtles began to think about their warm house. They turned and crawled back down the road without so much as a goodbye. The frog weren't too happy with the trip anymore, either. First on and then the other, and finally the last one jumped away. They were polite enough, though, to wish the rooster a good evening as they disappeared into the night. The cats then remembered an unfinished meal they had left behind. They kindly wished the rooster a happy journey, and they, too, headed for home. Now the rooster was all alone, and he hadn't seen anything of the world. He thought for a minute and then said to the moon, "To tell you the truth, I am not only hungry and cold, but I am homesick as well." The moon did not answer. It, too, disappeared. The rooster knew what he had to do. He turned around and went back home again. He enjoyed a good meal of grain and then sat on his very own perch. After a while he went to sleep and had a wonderful happy dream all about a trip around the world. Thank you for watching the video. Please subscribe the channel.
Kindle Kid presents The Grouchy Ladybug, a beautiful story written by Eric Carle and animated by Kindle Kid. It was night, and some fireflies danced around the moon. At 5 o'clock in the morning the sun came up. A friendly ladybug flew in from the left. It saw a leaf with many aphids on it, and decided to have them for breakfast. But just then a grouchy ladybug flew in from the right. It too saw the aphids and wanted them for breakfast. "Good morning," said the friendly ladybug. "Go away," shouted the grouchy ladybug. "I want those aphids." "We can share them," suggested the friendly ladybug. "No. They're mine, all mine," screamed the grouchy ladybug. "Or do you want to fight me for them?" "If you insist," answered the friendly ladybug sweetly. It looked the other bug straight in the eye. The grouchy ladybug stepped back. It looked less sure of itself. "Oh, you're not big enough for me to fight," it said. "Then why don't you pick on somebody bigger?" "I'll do that," screeched the grouchy ladybug. "I'll show you." It puffed itself up and flew off. At 6 o'clock it met a yellow jacket. "Hey you," said the grouchy ladybug. "Want to fight?" "If you insist," said the yellow jacket, showing its stinger. "Oh, you're not big enough," said the grouchy ladybug and flew off. At 7 o'clock it saw a stag beetle. "Hey you," said the grouchy ladybug. "Want to fight?" "If you insist," said the stag beetle, opening its jaws. "Oh, you're not big enough," said the grouchy ladybug and flew off. At 8 o'clock it came across a praying mantis. "Hey you," said the grouchy ladybug. "Want to fight?" "If you insist," said the praying mantis, reaching out with its long front legs. "Oh, you're not big enough," said the grouchy ladybug and flew off. At 9 o'clock it almost flew into a sparrow. "Hey you," said the grouchy ladybug. "Want to fight?" "If you insist," said the sparrow, opening its sharp beak. "Oh, you're not big enough," said the grouchy ladybug and flew off. At 10 o'clock it saw a lobster. "Hey you," said the grouchy ladybug. "Want to fight?" "If you insist," said the lobster, stretching its claws. "Oh, you're not big enough," said the grouchy ladybug and flew off. At 11 o'clock it bumped into a skunk. "Hey you," said the grouchy ladybug. "Want to fight?" "If you insist," said the skunk, starting to lift its tail. "Oh, you're not big enough," said the grouchy ladybug and flew off. At 12 noon it spotted a boa constrictor. "Hey you," said the grouchy ladybug. "Want to fight?" "If you insist," said the snake, right after lunch. "Oh, you're not big enough," said the grouchy ladybug and flew off. At 1 o'clock it happened upon a hyena. "Hey you," said the grouchy ladybug. "Want to fight?" "If you insist," said the hyena, laughing eerily and showing its teeth. "Oh, you're not big enough," said the grouchy ladybug and flew off. At 2 o'clock it met a gorilla. "Hey you," said the grouchy ladybug. "Want to fight?" "If you insist," said the gorilla, beating its chest. "Oh, you're not big enough," said the grouchy ladybug and flew off. At 3 o'clock it met a rhinoceros. "Hey you," said the grouchy ladybug. "Want to fight?" "If you insist," said the rhinoceros, lowering its horn. "Oh, you're not big enough," said the grouchy ladybug and flew off. At 4 o'clock it met an elephant. "Hey you," said the grouchy ladybug. "Want to fight?" "If you insist," said the elephant, raising its trunk and showing its big tusks. "Oh, you're not big enough," said the grouchy ladybug and flew off. At 5 o'clock it met a whale. "Hey you," said the grouchy ladybug. "Want to fight?" But the whale didn't answer at all. "You're not big enough anyway," said the grouchy ladybug and flew off. At 5:15 the grouchy ladybug said to one of the whale's flippers, "Hey, you want to fight?" But it got no answer. So it flew on. At 5:30 the grouchy ladybug said to the whale's fin, "Hey, you want to fight?" But it got no answer, so it flew on. At 5:45 the grouchy ladybug said to the whale's tail, "Hey, you want to fight?" And the whale's tail gave the grouchy ladybug such a slap. The grouchy ladybug fall down across the land. At 6 o'clock the grouchy ladybug arrived right back where it had started from. "Ah, here you are again," said the friendly ladybug. "You must be hungry. There are still some aphids left. You can have them for dinner." "Oh, thank you," said the wet, tired, and hungry ladybug. Soon all the aphids were gone. "Thank you," said the leaf. "You are welcome," answered both ladybugs, and they went to sleep. The fireflies, who had been sleeping all day, came out to dance around the moon.
Kindle Kid presents The Very Clumsy Click Beetle. Written by Eric Carle and animated by Kindle Kid. One fine morning a young click beetle decided to go for a walk. At noon it climbed up and down a flower. In the afternoon it rummaged through a pile of pebbles. In the evening it crawled among the tall blades of grass. And when it turned night the young click beetle crept up a tree. After a while it got tired and fell to the ground. It landed on its back. The young click beetle tried very hard to turn over onto its feet, but it couldn't. "Help!" it cried. All along, a wise old click beetle had been watching the young click beetle. "Tomorrow morning I will teach you how to click and flip through the air and land on your feet," said the wise old click beetle. "In the meantime you may as well go to sleep. Good night." The next morning the wise old click beetle said, "Look at me, this is how it is done." It flipped through the air and landed on its feet. "Now you try it," said the wise old beetle. "Thank you. That looks easy," replied the young click beetle. Just then an earthworm stuck his head up out of the ground. "Look at me," said the young click beetle. And with a loud click, it flipped through the air. But it landed on its back. "How very clumsy of me," said the young click beetle. Just then a turtle ambled by. "Better luck next time," said the turtle. "Keep on trying." "Look at me," said the young click beetle. And with a loud click, it flipped through the air. but it landed on its back. "How very clumsy of me," said the young click beetle. Just then a snail slithered by. "Don't worry," said the snail, "you'll get there." "Look at me," said the young click beetle. And with a loud click, it flipped through the air. But it landed on its back. "How very clumsy of me," said the young click beetle. Just then a mouse scurried by. "You need a little more practice," said the mouse. "Look at me," said the young click beetle. And with a loud click, it flipped through the air. And the young click beetle clicked and flipped through the air. But this time it did 3 graceful somersaults and landed on its feet. "Look at you," shouted the wise old click beetle. "You have done it." Thank you for watching the video. Please subscribe the channel. Kindle Kid presents The Very Quiet Cricket, a beautiful story written by Eric Carle and animated by Kindle Kid. One warm day, from a tiny egg a little cricket was born. "Welcome," chirped a big cricket, rubbing his wings together. The little cricket wanted to answer, so he rubbed his wings together. But nothing happened. Not a sound. "Good morning," whizzed a locust, spinning through the air. The little cricket wanted to answer, so he rubbed his wings together. But nothing happened, not a sound. "Hello," whispered a praying mantis, scraping its huge front legs together. The little cricket wanted to answer, so he rubbed his wings together. But nothing happened. Not a sound. "Good day," crunched a worm, munching its way out of an apple. The little cricket wanted to answer, so he rubbed his wings together. But nothing happened. Not a sound. "Hi," bubbled a spittlebug, slurping in a sea of froth. The little cricket wanted to answer, so he rubbed his wings together. But nothing happened. Not a sound. "Good afternoon," screeched a cicada, clinging to a branch of a tree. The little cricket wanted to answer, so he rubbed his wings together. But nothing happened. Not a sound. "How are you?" hummed a bumblebee, flying from flower to flower. The little cricket wanted to answer, so he rubbed his wings together. But nothing happened. Not a sound. "Good evening," whirred a dragonfly, gliding above the water. The little cricket wanted to answer, so he rubbed his wings together. But nothing happened. Not a sound. "Good night," buzzed the mosquitoes, dancing among the stars. The little cricket wanted to answer, so he rubbed his wings together. But nothing happened, not a sound. A lunar moth sailed quietly through the night, and the cricket enjoyed the stillness. As the lunar moth disappeared silently into the distance, the cricket saw another cricket. She, too, was a very quiet cricket. He rubbed his wings together one more time. And this time, he chirped the most beautiful sound that she had ever heard. Thank you for watching the video. Please subscribe the channel. Kindle Kid presents The Very Lonely Firefly, a beautiful story written by Eric Carle and animated by Kindle Kid. As the sun set, a little firefly was born. It stretched its wings and flew off into the darkening sky. It was a lonely firefly and it flashed its light searching for other fireflies. The firefly saw a light and flew toward it. But it was not another firefly. It was a light bulb lighting up the night.
Hear that noise?
The firefly saw a light and flew toward it. But it was not another firefly. It was a candle flickering in the night.
What's going on?
The firefly saw a light and flew toward it. But it was not another firefly. It was a lantern glowing in the night. Hey, stop fighting. The firefly saw a light and flew toward it. But it was not another firefly. It was a flashlight shining in the night.
Quiet out there.
The firefly saw several lights and flew toward them. But they were not other fireflies. There was a dog and
Meow! Meow!
a cat and an owl, their eyes reflecting the lights. The firefly saw a light and flew toward it. But it was not another firefly. It was a car's headlights flooding the night. Look! Wow! It's beautiful! The firefly saw many lights and flew toward them. But they were not other fireflies. They were fireworks sparkling and glittering and shimmering in the night. When all was quiet, the firefly flew through the night flashing its light, looking and searching again. Then the very lonely firefly saw what it had been looking for. A group of fireflies, flashing their lights. Now the firefly wasn't lonely anymore. Thank you for watching the video.
Today
Please
we will
subscribe.
read